Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm at the world famous Cubano Room in Newport Beach, California, where I've been a member since almost day one. Love to come hang out. It's great networking, smoke a couple cigars, relax, unwind. Unfortunately, I haven't been here almost all of 2021 because it's been a crazy year. But I'm here today. We are going to talk about what we covered this year in the channel so far, all the videos that we've brought to you. We're going to talk also about what's coming up for 2022. So let's go sit down and talk about next year. Well, welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, as always. I'd like to start just with a recap of the year. I mean, it's been a crazy year, a crazy couple years. I mean, 2020, everyone knows what happened there. 2021, the real estate market, was explosive. Interest rates continued to be extremely low, historically low. And in spite of record low inventory. I mean, inventory has been extremely tight. As we review 2021, we're looking at, we've more than doubled our business from 2020. So about 100 transactions, about 630 million in total sales. Works out to about 120 families that we helped and worked with. So phenomenal year. Again, I think that anyone that was in this business for the last 5 years, marketing and setting themselves up, should have had a record year this year. So one thing that we've been trying to figure out though, everyone's going to brag about how much business they did this year. That's just the nature of the beast. However, when we stop and think about it, where did we add value? Because the challenge right now in this marketplace, there's a lot of people that want to sell. There's a lot of people that want to sell either because they want to move out of the area, or they want to move up, or they want to move down, typical. But no one knows where they want to go because there's very little inventory. There's nothing for them to choose from. And out of that 100 or so transactions, roughly around 10% of that was all done off market. We'll talk a little bit about a couple of the off markets that we did, like 32 South Sir, which was the first video that we brought to you. But I think it's important to know that in this market moving forward, having access, private access to some of these off markets, it's funny. I was talking to a client yesterday and I was talking about how she actually wants to sell her house but doesn't know where she wants to go. And I said, if we put a board up, we would have, client A who wants to sell and they don't have access to what they want. Well, the house that they want, that client actually wants to sell as well, but they don't have access. So we literally could have this map going of, a checkerboard trying to, match these things up. And she said, it's funny, it's like a Grey's Anatomy episode where there was 6 transplant patients and they needed 6 other people. So it turned out to be 12 people. And in order to make all of those transplants work, each one had to work. And it was a crazy analogy, and I actually went and watched that, and it's exactly what we're living in right now. So, we've become, real estate agents have always been matchmakers, right? You match up a need with a product. That's common, but usually you have a lot to choose from. The marketplace right now is so tight, there's no inventory, you have to get really creative. So you have to be working with the right team that has access to these. And when because we have such a, heavy client base, we can move these pieces around. So just wanted to touch on that. That's part of the value that we bring to the table. Now let's talk about, the videos that we've seen this year, the projects we've worked on, and we'll start with 32 South Sir. 32 South Sir was an off market we found, and it was an interesting opportunity. So it took several clients to it. One actually loved it. We made an offer, got into escrow. Turned out that his wife didn't love it as much as he did, and rather than cancel, we actually, I understood the value. So it was deeply undervalued. It was a property that, was only a couple years old, but hadn't really been lived in. So there was a lot of deferred maintenance. It was staged poorly. Needed lighting, needed some general basic, cleanup and a few, additions that I could see from a design perspective to tailor it to what the buyers want in this area at this time. So the client and I decided that we could turn it into basically a flip. So how did that happen? How did that work? So, he's a busy executive. I said, look, I'll help you manage the whole project from, start to finish. We've got the design team, the contractors, pretty much everything, all the subs and everything that we would need to get the job done. The concern was, well, how long is this going to take, and how long am I going to carry it, and how long, walk me through it. So, turned out, we jumped on it very quickly. We're able to get the place cleaned out, re-landscape, paint, new lighting. Lighting was one of the only challenges really because of supply chain right now. I'm sure everyone's heard about this, but ordering lighting fixtures and getting them there in a timely manner was probably the biggest challenge that we actually encountered. But we got it done. We the word pivot comes up all the time ever since COVID, but you order something and it's on back order, pivot, order something else. So we got the lighting in, we got the we got it staged up beautifully with our staging partner, Ambiance Homes, who we love. And we did some new cabinetry work. Basically, we cleaned the place up and got it prepared to look like what people want these days: white, bright, transitional. And we knew the value that it would create. So, rough numbers, bought it for about $8.5 million. We made the improvements, put it back on the market, and sold it within multiple offers within a few days. For a very nice profit. So something that, could have been one of those situations where you enter escrow and you cancel, which is happening a lot these days, we turned it into a great opportunity for our client. And quite frankly, it was a win for everybody. We employed, 4 or 5 different sets of people. They made money. It was just a win-win for everybody. So it was a really exciting and fun project. Now we'll talk about Perham is a new construction project in Cameo Shores that you've seen early on in the videos. We walked through it. Frankly, it's been on the market, or actually it's been sort of in progress since construction started. We started showing it to people, a year ago when it was just metal I-beams and concrete. And, the challenge that a lot of buyers have is just kind of the vision. Buying something off of a rendering is tough. It's like, like my wife doesn't like to order things off the internet because she likes to touch it and feel it and put it on, right? So you've been following along 1 or 2 of the videos, you'd see the progress. Currently, all the flooring's in, the kitchen, all the cabinetry's in, the stone has gone in. We're at the point now where appliances are going to start going in, painting's being done, the final finishes are going to be done. So the property is going to be complete in about 30 to 60-ish days. There are 3 or 4 buyers that have been circling around this thing for the longest time. And I told all of them, watch, what's going to happen is, you're all going to think you're about ready to pull the trigger, and one of you will, and 3 people are going to miss out. So it's one of the only properties available in Cameo Shores, brand new construction. It's an absolute stunning masterpiece. Has everything that everybody wants these days: theater, gym, 2 kitchens, views for days, jetty view. It's really stunning. Mark Teal architecture, Scott Cross. Details by Design. It's just another one of the dream teams that does Cameo projects extremely well. So the next video will probably be of the wrap up on that one. So stay tuned for that. Next up, 17 Telescope, another phenomenal project. That was a house that was for sale about 1.5-ish, maybe 2 years ago. We sold it to a client of ours. It was in original condition, beautiful custom estate in Pelican Ridge Estates. However, it needed, someone's new design ideas, new twist, right? So our client had the vision, the wherewithal, bought the house, underwent a completely almost basically stud down renovation, from ground up. I mean, everything was new. Did a phenomenal job. I have to say, the vision of him and his team and his wife and family, everyone that was part of that, did an amazing job. That was another huge win. I won't go into the numbers, but it was very successful. Wasn't meant to be a spec or a flip. Created the house they wanted to live in. Absolutely gorgeous, but things change. Maybe need a little more space, or people's ideas of what they need for their family are different. And luckily, the market has been phenomenal. So we put that in escrow almost immediately as well. And it's actually closing maybe around the time that you see this video. It'll be closed or within 1 or 2 days. So another exciting, phenomenal project that was a win-win for everybody. All right, and I can't help but be excited about this one, 33 Smithcliffs. So one of the biggest project, well, actually the biggest listing we ever had at a little over $48 million. The team came together strong on this one. This is one that I have to say, from the time that we've been talking with the client for a long time, helped with some of the aspects of just advice and design and et cetera. But we've known the clients since they purchased the property. We got called in towards the end during the staging aspects, and then we went into the interview process up against everyone. I mean, all the big names, a bunch of TV personalities, and back to what I was saying, the team really came together. I mean, our team is so strong, from the marketing side to project management side to just overall, everyone chipped in where they needed to, because we knew this was going to be really one of the biggest projects that, listings that we ever had. I have to say, it went flawlessly. I mean, there were a few things like always, but, we listed it. We did some unique things on this one, like and in the video we talked about, some of the shortcomings. We knew that, people spending that kind of money are going to think, well, I don't have a private beach, I don't have a guard, a gate guard. There's a few things that, were kind of deficient. So we had to overcome those, and we had to overcome those ahead of time so that we could understand who the buyer would be. One of the things that we did, which was unique and I thought was pretty fun, was, since it wasn't at a private beach, we bought a golf cart, so the new buyer can put himself and his family, jump in the golf cart, go out the gate and just go right to Crescent Beach. It's like a 30-second golf cart little drive. And we had a lot of fun with a few events and just driving, prospective buyers around on the golf cart. So anyway, that one ended extremely well. We closed that, I guess about a month ago, for ultimately printed for $35,500. There was some furniture included, which pushed the price up to about $37,500. But ultimately, huge success, big win for us, which also catapulted us into another opportunity, because we met another buyer from that property who ended up buying a $43 million property in the community over at Irvine Cove. So we actually ended up having 2 of the top 3 or 4 highest sales in all of Orange County for the entire year. All right, so that's what we've done so far. That's most of the videos. As I reflect back on the year, it's a bit of a blur, to be honest. It it was fast moving. There's been some changes in the local marketplace. I mean, we have seen a huge influx of people coming from Los Angeles. We're seeing people buying vacation homes from Texas and Florida and New York. The largest sale in Irvine Cove this year was a hedge fund guy out of New York for $70 million. So we're seeing Orange County has gone from that orange curtain sleepy community to that safe haven, beautiful. I mean, it's always been, some place that people vacation, but now it's really looked at as some place that people want to live and or have a second sort of getaway house, right? So, I mean, we only see that trend continuing. You have, currently as we're recording this, we have a new variant that's taking over quickly. People are concerned. The mask mandates are back. Travel's starting to slow down. After this Christmas holiday season, we don't know what's going to happen. But I do know that interest rates will still be, even as the Fed has announced they're going to raise rates next year, they'll still be historically low. So you'll still have cheap money. You'll still have high demand. And we may get some inventory, but inventory is still going to be pretty tight. So, the forecasts look like the year is going to be up anywhere from, on the low end, 3% annual appreciation to, I've seen as high as 7%. And they, keep in mind, when they talk about these numbers, that's a nationwide average, right? I mean, we've seen clearly, in certain neighborhoods, we've bought properties for our clients and they've almost done a 50%, increase in the last 2 years. That's, 25% IRR, right? So, here locally, the market has changed. The demand has never been greater. I just want to say, almost everybody wants to come to Orange County, which, it's great for us. The restaurants will thrive. Businesses hopefully will thrive. Real estate's going to thrive. Unfortunately, maybe we get a little bit more traffic, but hey, that's okay. We welcome everybody. So, looking forward, beyond that, I think that, we could potentially see another couple of years of growth. But, look, before this, I was in the finance business. I was a bond trader. I managed money. So when I go back to, the way that I look at, macroeconomics, it's not going to last forever. So, there's always cycles. So at some point, things are going to slow down and we're going to have to go through, kind of a bit of a tightening. So I don't know if that's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but in the meantime, 2022, we're excited about it. We are looking forward to helping, our goals are huge this year. We're going to throw out a huge number and strive for it. But really the number that I care about is going from helping 100 families or 120 families to maybe 150 to 200 families. So really we want to keep that as our core, helping people find their homes, helping people achieve their real estate goals. Like what are you looking for? Upsize, downsize, investment opportunities. We're here to help. All right, so that's enough about real estate. What about the channel? 2022, we're looking forward to providing more, luxury real estate tours, more of what you've seen. Hopefully it's getting better. I was a little hesitant to get into this to begin with, but I feel like I'm kind of getting more comfortable and we got my stride. Having said that, now, what we'd like to provide is a more rounded experience relative to the luxury marketplace. Marketplace meaning lifestyle. We want to talk to restaurants. We want to talk to our favorite, car guys. We want to talk to our favorite jewelers. We want to, whatever brings you into how we live here in coastal Orange County, I want to provide that. So love to hear comments. Number one, tell me what you want to see. Who are you interested in hearing from? The coolest, Hotel Laguna. It came back to life and it's exciting. The restaurant's amazing. You want to see it? I want to provide that. So as we move forward, it's going to be home tours, luxury lifestyle, and then tell me what else you want. We'll bring it to you. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Thanks.